So if you've been vibe coding for a while, you'll know that architectural drift is an issue for vibe coding, and because no matter what LLM you're using, a lot of the time it will rearrange where files live, folders are generated where they're not supposed to be generated, and things like that, and it can be a problem. So I'm going to install this through pipx, and this is installing the CLI from my GitHub account, or my GitHub repo, and now it's available. I can check if it's available, and so there's my CLI. Now CLI is free, open source. You can do anything you'd like with it. So that's checked. So we can go to setup and go to shapes. Now shapes is cool because you can choose from different predefined architectures, different scaffoldings, which I call shapes. We're going to create a mobile app here using Next.js and Capacitor. And what that has done is it created a basic glyph chain. And what a glyph chain is a series of notation, very succinct notation that describes the architecture of your application. And here I'll let you look at that in a second. So here we're creating a to-do list. We're inside of Cursor. We're going to open up the Archeon directory, and we're going to look at the Archeon or the Archon file. And you can see that there is the architecture here that's just predefined default. So now what we'll do is go into the agent and say, create a to-do app. Now, so before it starts to code any actual code, it will look at the Archon file and then build out an architecture first. So before any code is written, an architecture is defined. And as that's being defined, you'll see it basically get built in real time. So what Archeon GUI is doing, it has a watcher that's watching this file. And this Electron app is listening in on your repo or on your project directory. So now as the LLM is going through and building out the application, even before it's building out the application, it's trying to understand and spell out the glyph structure, the intention, and the context of the architecture before it writes any code. And now the code has been written. So if we go to client and we go to source and we go to the components, you can now see that these files are updated, and each file actually has a commented area out here that gives more and more context to the Archeon system. So now let's see if it's done. Another amazing thing about Archeon is that it will validate itself. So it's constantly looking and optimizing its structure. So you can see all the CRUD operations are in place here, and now it's just trying to get and refine its validation rules. Okay, so now that it did its validation, and that's the internal Archeon validation, it now feels confident that we can move forward. So another great thing about Archeon is that it's got a built-in terminal system. So we can check whether or not the CLI is live and ready to go. And we can also install all the NPM packages. And we can run it. And then we can preview it. And there it is. So now, what if you want to extend this? Well, it's really easy. You can basically hold down Command and click, and you can add a new need. So let's just say we want to create an About Us page. Create About Us. So we're going to link it from the landing. And now what's really neat is if you go back and look at the Archon file, you'll notice that it is, you'll notice that we added that here. And that prompt is now baked into the architecture, into the glyph chain. So now you can say add about us. You don't even have to add, again, it's all about token optimization. So there's no huge documentation like requirements document, technical design documentation, to-do lists. All of those large files are no longer needed for the system to make sense of where you are. So now you can see that there's no CRUD operations for the About Us page. All it's doing is creating the component and it's creating the output. And now you can see, which is really awesome, is that the code is also inside of Archeon. So if we can click on these sections and it will jump to the section. We can actually click on the file itself. So let's try it again. Let's preview it. So there's the About Us page. And there you go. So again, this is all about speed. It's all about context, and it's about intention, and it's about attention constraint. That's where the LLMs falter a lot of the time, and this application solves for that. I really hope that you get a chance to play with it and give me some comments. I would really appreciate it. Thanks.